everybody. Welcome to Outtake ESL. Today what I want to talk about is a presentation I call Raise a Red Lantern. Here, being in China, being a fan of Zhang Yimou's films, I decided to do a presentation all about light. And this one I kind of specifically did for my girlfriend at that time, Li Xing. So I put a lot of extra care into it, and I thought it was a really interesting subject. I came upon the idea because one of the first conversations me and Li Xing had was about light. I needed to know the Chinese word for a light, and she told me it. So I decided to do a whole presentation based on our conversation, and specifically just for her. Now I later kind of removed that recognition from the presentation when working at other companies because she was no longer my girlfriend. But it still stands pretty much as a pretty good presentation or English corner or discussion topic for your English class. So it began with the Ultraviolet Baby Light My Way by U2, and I thought it was kind of interesting that U2 decided to use that song in their concerts the very next year as a kind of the closing, as a tribute to women also. So it was kind of coincidental, I suppose, but kind of funny. So we begin with a quick little, since it's a Zhang Yimou film, filmmaker, I've always kind of admired his work. I begin with a clip from Raise a Red Lantern, and we have a little discussion about that. Let's see if I can find it here. There it is. Begin with a clip from the movie Raise a Red Lantern. It's all Gong Li opening monologue there. I thought it was pretty interesting. And it's a film that, most Chinese people, or, this was for adults, so a lot of them are familiar with this work and are able to have a conversation about the piece. If not, you can maybe talk about what do you think the woman's situation is, what is she talking about, so on and so forth. Do it with English. That clip has some subtitles onto it. And then, since I wanted to personalize this, I do a song. This is a song I wrote based on the film that I called Raise a Red Lantern. So I'll bring my guitar. Now, performing songs for English corners actually takes quite a bit of time, because I'm not a person who just has these things. Because I have so much going on, I need to sit down and practice something, get it all right, get all my cues, get everything just so before I perform it. So, to perform a song, even if it is my own song, it takes quite a bit of practice and quite a bit of time to prepare for that. So I do the song, hand out lyric sheets, a couple questions. What do you think the song is about? What does it mean to raise a red lantern in Chinese symbolism? And actually, I think it means, back then it meant you were available. It was a thing that concubines did to indicate they were available. And then I do a song, story. And then we do a song, then I do a story. Let me see if I can get this volume down. The main thing about these things is that the volume doesn't always adjust as it ought to. Let's see here. Go over here. Let's go here. Bring it down. Pop-ups. Women in bras and things. So I do the story of Kuang Heng, and this is all kind of about light. Person in darkness who light finds light in a hole in the wall. So I felt it was a pretty appropriate story. We do that story together, do a little group work. How many sources of light? All right, so now I just kind of have the groups, break it off into groups, and I have them think of all the sources of light they can, and then we play that game, categories basically game, which ones did you think of that other people did? Who came up with the most unique ones kind of gets points for that. Or the ones that nobody else thought of. Then a quick vocabulary, sources of light. One is the sun, two, fire, lightning, firefly, flashbulb, light bulb, laser beam, optical fibers, just some simple vocabulary. How does light travel? A or B? Travel straight. Oh, we move on to a simple activity. We shine a flashlight on the wall. How does the light get there? Move closer with the flashlight, any changes? Kind of a little science experiment with light using English. Which direction does light travel? We'll give them some examples. Boom, travels in all directions. I think I had a switch on it. And then we try and, then we use the flashlight, and I gave them different sort of materials and see how the light passes through that. Discuss those results with the partners, discuss them as a class. Talk about different aspects of light. Some things are transparent. What does that mean? Give examples. Opaque. Yeah. Some things are opaque. What does that mean? Give some examples. And these were all kind of materials that I gave them. So we try and describe them, and some are translucent. Which ones of the materials, which materials did I give you were translucent? And then we talk about facts, the facts of life. Facts of life. Just kind of vocabulary, using vocabulary exercise, some sentences, what are the correct words over here? The sense of light. Okay, so now I talk about how do humans detect light, and this is through their eyes. Kind of something about me and Li Xing. I always was attracted to her eyes, and I think she was always attracted to mine. So I decided to bring that into a part of the discussion. Some vocabulary, parts of an eye, iris, pupil, and sclera. Sclera. Time to check those detectors. All right, so here I do an eye test with them all. Since we're talking about eyes, I decided to do an eye test and just kind of have some fun with the eye test. Of course, it's English letters. So which way is it facing? I haven't described it. And then I do the colorblind test with them also. What's the numbers you see? I forget what the name is. Japanese name of the test that it's called. Number of those. Let's see here. And then we end it with kind of the fun part of the activity, or fun part of the English corner. I thought was this here. The shadow puppets. It's something that originates in China, so I thought it would be kind of a fun way to end it. And we talk a little bit about the history of shadow puppets, and then we play a kind of little activity. Well, I give them the kind of the diagram, and then tell me what animal is it. First of all, I have everybody, they all have the flashlights, so I say, with your partner, do this, and tell me what animal it is. So everybody goes out there and puts it on the wall and sees what animal it is. And there's a number there. Camel, elephant. So So it's a pretty fun English corner. I think it's pretty brilliant. I mean, you're probably not going to find people that put this kind of sort of thought and kind of care into their work. Most people are just kind of interested in, most EFL teachers I come across are just kind of interested in their own personal success, not so much in what they're doing in the classroom. So just want to share that. I hope there's some ideas here for you that you can use. If you do use them, please like, subscribe, show that you care about people other than just yourself. And we'll check you out the next time.